Hey, what's up? Tomas here with Phonetic Spit and our new project, the Behind the Words series. First and foremost, I got to give a shout out to our sponsors, ASU School of Film, Dance, and Theater, and the Mesa Arts Center. The Behind the Words series is a sneak peek into the community and culture of spoken word poetry and its platform to be an agent of change. This month, we are honored to be featuring Terisa Siagatonu from Oakland, California.
My name is Terisa Siagatonu, and I am a spoken word poet. I'm still alive because I'm not afraid of what I already know wants to kill me. Because I'm a first generation, working class, queer Samoan woman. 5 chapters of a survivor's story excavated from my bones. The reason your oppression doesn't know what to shoot first. When I was in college, I was in my dorm room. On TV, there was our campus TV station, and it was filming an open mic happening somewhere on campus. These 2 guys, we were both at the mic. It kind of sounded like rap. It also sounded like poetry, but it didn't sound like traditional poetry. And it literally was history from there. I remember just opening up a Microsoft Word doc and writing my heart out for like a good solid 20 minutes. And I didn't know what I was writing. I was just like free writing. I would like recite it like the way I saw those 2 guys do it on that TV show that I was watching. And from there, I just started mustering the courage to go to those open mics that I saw. There are quite a few people who are full-time spoken word poets. It's taken a while, a few years to even call myself an artist or call myself a spoken word poet. But I own it now, and I think that'll always be a part of whatever career path I take. I see myself working towards bridging therapy and healing through writing in some way. So I see myself doing some kind of art therapy. I'm still alive because they C-sectioned me out of my mother's middle in spite of knowing my gender. They think that blood is the only thing a woman loses the moment that she gives birth to a girl. My gender never belonged to itself. When it's raped, America does this funny thing where it tells me that I was asking for it, at the same time that it tells me to stay silent. The hemline of my skirt is an overactive jury that treats my body like a courtroom, that treats my voice box like a closet, that they say I deserve to die in, on the floorboards of my sins, because I fell in love with a woman, made an altar of her body since no one else ever has. Would I say that I do political poetry? I would say I do storytelling, and I tell my story, and it just inherently happens to be personal and political. I come from a culture where youth and young people just aren't allowed to speak their mind and allowed to have an opinion or tell their story. And initially when I found this art form, and the poetry that I used to write when I first started writing revolved all around owning your voice and owning your story. My best writing comes really late at night, like at 2 in the morning. I'm also the type that if I don't feel like it's done, I have to put it away and I have to revisit it later or else I'll drive myself crazy. It's really hard to decipher when a poem is officially done. There are poems I've been performing for years that feel done because I get affirmation from the crowd, but I also get a lot of critiques too and a lot of questions, and it makes me go back to the drawing board. I'm still alive because everybody deserves to be treated like they are worth a holy offering. A sacred thing it is to find and know God in the last place homophobia would ever think to look. A back door into heaven after being put through hell for having the faith of a faggot. A dyke for a daughter. The names your parents call you in a language that isn't the one that they immigrated here with. I'm still alive because most days I let the trauma write all of my poems, because saying them out loud on a stage is the first step towards getting help, because I trust a microphone on a mic stand in a room full of strangers before I'll ever trust the police. This stage is both sanctuary and emergency room. My people are both griots and doctors and patients with no patience left in them, just stories with skin, too dark for sympathy, because nobody ever considers our pain an American tragedy, because it didn't take place in a movie theater or at the airport or at a marathon or in Newtown, Connecticut. I wrote a poem on my birthday this past year about like the things I would tell myself the day before I became a poet. And I think one thing I would tell my past self is to be patient and be kind to myself, to continue to find my voice, even if finding my voice means just finding it for myself. I'm still alive because I watch Oakland every day pick itself up from its own concrete, scrub the blood out its cracks before the new neighbors arrive, on blocks that their mortgage used to own, a white hipster's wet dream, next to a BART station that Oscar's daughter will never have the stomach to take. I'm still alive because nobody seems to see that there is no difference between Iraq and East Oakland, South Side Chicago and South Central, a battalion of young soldiers and the students in my poetry workshop, how nobody has mornings like them. How they wake up in their own piss and grief to go to another friend's funeral more times than they even go to class. How the biggest fear for most of my friends is to raise a black child in a justice system of a joke that will continue to say taser when we kept saying gun, that will continue to cry acquittal when we kept crying murder, that will continue to say God bless America when we kept saying God please have mercy on all of us. I'm still alive because in these past few years we've lost Nelson Mandela, Amiri Baraka, Maya Angelou, Yuri Kochiyama, Grace Lee Boggs, and upon learning of all of their passings, I hung my poetry at half-mast. We artists of the revolution know that we are on borrowed time, using borrowed words, watching our leaders turn ancestor in our life. I'm still alive because whatever wants me dead doesn't know that you cannot kill somebody who isn't afraid anymore. Somebody who is ready to leave this place an ancestor. Somebody who is ready to give birth to the generation that will bring about the liberation I was always destined to make, but never meant to see.